Okay. I want to talk to you really about the why of iBuumerang. And, I've been doing network marketing now for about 29 years. And many of you heard the story, and many of you were part of our company as in the very beginning. Some of you were here. And some of you heard me talk about, why iBuumerang started, but some of you have not had a chance to be a part of that conversation. And, many people ask, well, what is the difference, or what is iBuumerang? And I want to share with you that the what, is it important? Yes, it is important. But I can tell you, out of 29 years of being in this industry, it's never as important as the why. And I want to share with you why I started iBuumerang. I want to share with you why we continue to do what it is that we do. I was talking with the group today, and a good friend of mine, and I'll reference a part of some of what he said today is, when looking at a company, you also have to look at who's in charge and where are they in their lives. Being in this industry for 29 years, I've had a chance to be on both sides of it. Had a chance to be on the side where there was no money, and my focus was 5 things. My first thing was money. The second was money. Third was money. Fourth and fifth were money. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. As a matter of fact, I tell many of the TSAs that I want some of your focus to be on the money. I don't want your focus right now to be on trying to be a great Samaritan and saying, hey, I'm going to just help a lot of people. And I know that may not sound correct, but I can tell you this. Become a diamond in this company, see how many people you can help. But don't even get qualified with one on your left and one on your right. You're not helping too many people. And so put some focus on the money and take the money, and then go out and decide, who is it that I want to help? And we're going to share with you how to do that. Much of what you're going to see in iBuumerang, much of what you're going to see I talk about as a CEO, is going to be maybe the opposite of what you've experienced before in this industry. And it's not necessarily different for the sake of being different, but I'll share with you why some of us are going to be, some of this is going to be different. I wanted to solve a big problem that was plaguing this industry. And many of you know I'm an ambassador for this entire industry. You'll never hear me speak negative of a company, ever. It's just not necessary, and neither should you. You'll never see us on the attack of another company or saying, hey, this company's doing bad, let's go get their reps. That's not what network marketing is all about. One of the things I can tell you is that I have been in the process over the last several years of figuring out what I want my legacy to be. And I can tell you, I've had many, many, many talks. And one of the talks was, a book that should actually be given back to the industry. Many people, Arlene has told me, hey, listen, write a book. Many of my leaders have told me, hey, write a book. Everything that you've got inside you, you need to put it into a book. And I thought that's going to be my gift back to the industry. But I never felt it. I never felt it. Some of my best friends have books. Some of our global master ambassador has a book, Permission to Succeed. And several other leaders have books, and I support those. I never felt that at that time for what I wanted. But I can tell you, when iBuumerang came around, I felt the sincerity that this is the gift that I want to hand to the industry. This is what I want to give back to an industry that is supported and giving me an opportunity to provide for my family and have my family see an entirely different side of life. And because I experienced it from both sides, from the side of the first 7 years, never making more than $500 in a month, building a team of 7 distributors average coming into my group every year for the first 7 years, building a team of 49 distributors, to building organizations well in excess of 2 million, approaching 3 million distributors. And so I've been able to experience both sides of it. And I can tell you what I've really experienced of late. My experiences over the last 5 years have almost saddened me a little bit. And it's not because of a company whatsoever. It's because of what I've seen in the industry. And what I've seen in the industry is some major issues. It's amazing to say, I want to be the solution that I'm looking for. It's just like leadership. We always tell people, stop looking for the leader and become the one that you're asking for. And that's how you'll find them, right there in the mirror. And so instead of me looking towards another owner or another, executive in the company and saying, hey, listen, I've got this huge, big dream and I want to solve this major issue. Could you solve it for me? I realized nobody was willing to do it. Nobody was willing to take that on. And so what I've experienced in this industry is the challenge and the problem of what I call the MLM recycling bin. Okay? The MLM recycling bin. And what do I mean by the MLM recycling bin? Is that, and in my history in 29 years, I've been a part of it as well. And many of you are probably sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's why you're probably here, is that we've been involved with companies and we heard all the jargon. And what happens is everything that we were promised didn't happen. And what we do is we take the same people and we recycle them into a new company with a new badge, with a new matrix or a new compensation plan that pays $15,000 in 2 ways instead of $15,000 in 1 ways. And now we're going to make more money. Okay. And I've seen that and I've experienced it. And what I realized is that nobody stepped up and started thinking. I found that many of the owners have just regurgitated and recycled the same information that they heard when they were a distributor as their upline was on the stage. And we repeat the same thing. And I've been a part of it. I repeated many of the same jargons that I've heard back 29 years ago when I first got started. And what I've realized is that this industry of network marketing is really what I call a copycat business. Whoever's doing great, whatever comp plan has the top earner, every company will copy that comp plan and go chase that comp plan. Or if somebody comes out with a great product and it creates momentum, some guy's going to come up with a great concept, create a new company, and do the exact same thing. And to me, what happens is we create this huge recycling bin of what I call MLM casualties. You wouldn't believe the number of people that I've met in the last 30-something days who told me that they were completely out of the industry. And then what happened is we had the digital world that came around with cryptocurrency that came in, and it really spoiled this entire industry. People came out and was making $1 million in their first 20 minutes. And what happened is that became the norm, that if I didn't get rich in the first week, if I didn't set myself up to really dominate a compensation plan in the first month, something was wrong. And so what has happened over the last few years, there's been this huge void in the network marketing industry if people don't want to go back and build a business anymore. And so we've got this big problem. I call it the MLM recycling bin. Okay. The other thing that I saw is what I call the MLM hypocritical oath that many of us have actually taken. I've taken it so many times. Why? Because I've just said things that I've heard without even thinking. I've heard all of the statements, and you've heard them too. Statements like, your income is willable and transferable income, a walkaway income, leave a legacy, total freedom. You only have to build 1 leg. Don't worry about it. No selling. You can only do this, and you can make a 6 or 7-figure income doing it part-time. And we've stood up on stage and we've lied to people unintentionally, but some intentionally. But what I figure is that when you know better, you got to do better. And so here's what happened. I put myself in a position financially where I don't have to do network marketing anymore. I don't ever have to call a person, don't ever have to approach a person whatsoever. And that's why I'm more excited to do this, because I'm not doing it out of need. Now, I'm not saying that we don't want the results from building a profitable, strong business. We do, and we will do that. But it's much different than me starting a company, maybe 12 years ago or 15 years ago when I still had bills to pay. I still had a mortgage. I still had, car notes and all of those types of things. And now my motivation is to go out there and make some money. And I'm not saying that that's every owner, but I understand this industry backwards and forward. And I'm looking around and I'm like, man, something is not right here. And many times I've been on stage talking to people and wishing that distributors did not even sign up. It's sad. You're in a company for 6 years or 7 years and you go do a meeting and they bring their loved ones in and you're sitting there hoping like, okay, well, man, I've got 12 people here and all 12 of them want the top package. And I'm just hoping that their credit cards decline. Why? Because I can look them in the eyes and I know for a fact that these people are really not going to do what it takes to build this business. Why? Because of all those things, you only have to build 1 leg and you don't have to do any selling. And they signed up simply because it was easy. And I can tell you, network marketing, not easy, and it never will be easy, ever. Okay? But I want to share with you a couple of things here, okay? I want to share with you what we've been able to do, and I want to share with you what that challenge is and some of the other problems. The big problem that I saw as well that's contributed to all of these myths that we have is, number one, your customer stays on the product for 79 days. Here are numbers that have not changed over the last 60 years, okay? Over the last 60 years. 79 days is how long a customer is going to stay on your product, no matter how good that product is. Doesn't matter how awesome it is. And I can tell you, we've come up with so many stories about, we've gone 500 feet deep in the middle of the Pacific Ocean where the mermaids actually congregate. And they use this particular seaweed and they mix it up and put it on their hair, and their hair grows, 2.5 feet in the first 60 days, right? And we package it up, put it into a cream, and we sell that product and we sell that story. And no matter how good it is, even products that I know for a fact that has benefited people's lives and helped them live longer, 79 days is the longest period of time on the average that people stay on products. Customers buy on the average $35 per month, and that hasn't changed, ladies and gentlemen, much in the last 60 years. When you look at it, it's a revenue of about $105 per year that's being generated. And if we make 20% commission on it, that's $21 per year per customer that we make. But here's the thing, the average distributor only acquires 2 customers. And what are those customers going to do? The same thing that the distributor is going to do, quit. It's exactly what they're going to do. And now I'm not being down and I'm not being negative about our industry. I love it. I'm an ambassador for it. I just saw some issues. I saw some challenges and I saw some problems and I wanted to fix it. And I can't tell you that I was thinking 5 years ago that I'm going to fix it with travel and I'm going to fix it with iBuumerang. I didn't. I had no concept. I never wanted to be in the travel industry of network marketing because of some of the issues and challenges, but I knew I wanted to solve it. I knew I wanted to figure it out. And I looked 5 years ago and I became fascinated with Uber. And I started watching how they were changing things and how Uber dominated the entire world, became the fastest growing company in the history of the world in the first 7 years. But they weren't in the transportation industry. They were a disruptor. They were a technology company. What is our solution? Our solution is the PRIB, the perpetual residual income builder. I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on, but that's not really what this call is about. I'm just sharing with you why iBuumerang exists. It's easy to get people into our business, but I want you to know the core philosophy of why we're going to be who we are and why we're already who we are, and knowing that you can really rest at ease knowing that you're with the right people at the right time. But the perpetual residual income builder is that solution. Let me share with you the other problem that I had and how this solves it, and we'll prove to you that we solve it. Number one, I've been in this industry for 29 years, and there's been hundreds of millions of people who've actually signed up and had ID numbers, actually billions of people who have network marketing ID numbers. And here's what I can't find nowhere in the world. I still, to this day, I cannot find that one distributor that comes to me or I go to them and they say, you see this big palace that we have? You see all of the land that we have here? This land is because my great-grandmother and granddaddy went to an opportunity meeting and they told them that they'd have legacy income. And we still today receive income or residual from what they built 50 years ago. That's how we have all of this. And I've been the one on stage telling that big lie. Not intentionally, but I told it because that's what I was told. That's what I heard, and I duplicated it without even thinking. Do I have any evidence that this exists? Well, I can find it in the sports arena. I can show you professional sports teams owner who died and passed away, that their kids now own it. Look at the New York Yankees. It's passed on down to the family. Look at NFL teams. Al Davis passed it on down. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's passed on down, and that legacy still is there. I can tell you, Elvis's kids don't have money issues. Why? Because the songs that he made 40 years ago, the residual incomes are passed down to the Elvis Foundation. Michael Jackson's kids are not having issues at all. Why? Because all of that income, the residual income, is being passed down. So whoever talked to them about residuals in the music industry was telling them the truth. I can find it in real estate, whereas my grandfather passed real estate down to our family. My grandmother left properties to our family, traditional business, tech companies, every industry in the world. I can find it. But the industry where I put all of my time and energy, I can't find one. Can you find one? Who do you know when you put all of this time selling the dream? Can we point to one person that can say for the last 30 years, nobody's worked the business, but the income still supports his family the way that it did 30 years ago? Couldn't find it. For me, that's a problem. Why? I have a son. I built this business for my family. And I looked around and says, wow, if something happened to me, my son could live for a long time based off of what I've put away and what I've invested. But I'm not certain as to how long he could live off of my network marketing income, because I hadn't seen anybody who's done it before. And I wanted to solve that. And so we created the Crib. Okay. To sum it all up, what is iBuumerang? We're just different. We're not better. We're not bigger. We're not trying to be first. We're not trying to be last. We're not trying to be unique. We're just different. And I want you to understand that, because so many people come up to me all the time, and so many leaders come up to me all the time and saying, hey, listen, here's this travel company. Do you see, does this say iBuumerang Travel? It says iBuumerang. Okay? It's a verb and it's a pronoun. Pronoun meaning it's a name, and it's a verb, it's an action. People ask me, what do you do, sir? iBuumerang. That's what I do. iBuumerang. It's a concept. Okay? Doesn't say iBuumerang Travel. We'll talk about that in a moment. We're just different. I want to share something with you here about managing expectations. As I was talking to my buddy Clay today and a group of about 30 professionals in this networking industry, he brought something to my attention. I says, wow, this will be great to share on the call tonight. And here's what I want to share with you. What you're looking at are three photos here. Three photos. On the left, you'll see Sergey, and Sergey, Brin, and Larry. I forgot Larry's last name. But anyway, those are the two owners of the guys who started the company called Google. I want you to see where they started at. I want you to think back and I want you to think 60 days after they started, when you went on their website and did a Google search, did you find what you were looking for? Probably not 100% of the time. What were the algorithms working the way that they were supposed to work? Probably not. They probably didn't. Okay? Just didn't do what it was supposed to do. On the right here, you'll see this guy here, Jeff Bezos, working out of that little small office. And that was 4 years after Amazon.com was registered as a company. 4 years later, that's where he was working. Why? He had a dream. He wanted to do something unique. And that's where it all started. Let me ask you a question. When you ordered a book, did you think that the right book came every single time? Did you think your books came dry? What happened when he didn't know about rain that was going to take place and they shipped it? The next thing you know, all your pages are stuck together. You think they went through that? Of course they did. They went through it. They went through all of it. At the bottom, what you're looking at is where Microsoft actually was started. Where Bill Gates was in his garage starting Microsoft, that's where it was. And so what I share this with you so that you can really properly manage expectations, not feel sorry for iBuumerang, not to have lesser expectations of iBuumerang. I want you to properly manage your expectations. Why? Because sometimes we make it look too easy. Sometimes we've made it look too good. I was doing the research today and I was looking at where Uber started, and Uber put out an ad. This was a little after a year after they started, and they put out an ad that says, listen, if you guys can get us 100 customers, we will give you free rides. If we can get 100 customers, you know, that they put this big ad out, whoever helped them get 100 customers, they'd give them free rides. And I never forget, they posted an advertisement when they made their first $5. Their first $5 in revenue, and they jumped up and down. And if you saw the office where they started and the second office of where the the co-founder started, the office was a wood floor with a blow-up mattress and a laptop sitting on the mattress. That's where they got their start. And when you would actually use the Uber app, it wasn't called Uber, it was called Uber Cabs. And when you click on the app and you wanted a car, the car wouldn't come. It didn't work. It didn't work for a while. And then they found their niche, and then they got things going. And it took some of them years from the date of inception to really start getting revenue in. Those are your giants. Those are your companies. And I can give you many, many, many other stories of people and companies who've actually done that. Okay. Let's talk about your company. Let's talk about managing expectations. This slide here, I want you to remember this slide, because this slide, people will research this slide 20 years later as well. And they'll say, I remember when iBuumerang didn't even have a name. See, if you look at February the 18th, where it says the pre-launch kickoff, calls, and enrollment, website live, the company didn't even have a name then. There was no such thing as iBuumerang. There was only a concept. It was called Countdown for Freedom. That's all you saw. And we would promote that, guys, you know, we're going to share the name of the company. We're going to let people know what the name is. When? We're going to let them know the name, March the 8th. We're going to have a liftoff party and a brand reveal, and we're going to reveal the brand. And I've gone back and I've looked at the Apple brand, and I've looked at Uber, the brand. I've looked at, you know, Facebook brand and Amazon.com brand, and they launched it with second-rate brands and had to change them rapidly multiple times. Look at Uber. They continue to try to get it right. They still haven't gotten it right in terms of the brand. And I guarantee you the logo is going to change again. March the 9th, this is the things that we promised you. Here's what we told you we were going to do. We said March the 9th, we were going to lift off and have Global Opportunity Day. And guess what we did? We lifted off and we told you we were going to have 400 people there. And we lied to you because we had nearly 2,000 people. But we said we were going to lift off on March the 9th. We also said the system is live and our official date we'll return the website on is going to be March the 11th. Here's what we promised you. We said, March the 11th, guys, we're going to turn it on. And guess what happened? The enemies came from all over the place. And they said, you know what? iBuumerang, or whatever this thing is, this Countdown for Freedom says they're going to launch, we're going to challenge it. And we had the people hacking us and all kind of stuff. And they attacked our systems like crazy. And some of you are wondering, why isn't the website live? It was because we were being hacked. Millions of stuff was being sent to our servers to slow us down. Why? Because the opposition was there making sure we were real serious about what we want. This is why I always say the size of your dream is going to be determined by the size of the obstacles that's going to stop you from accomplishing it. And it wasn't going to be a hacker that was going to stop iBuumerang from launching. For some of you, guess what it was? It was March the 12th because you're in another country. And then we said, on that day, on the 11th, we're going to start Mission 10,000. We told you that we were going to put 10,000 people into the business that week from March the 11th to March the 18th. This is what we told you we were going to do. We didn't hype it. We blew the doors off of it. We did exactly what we told you that we were going to do. Let's manage expectations here. So, like Miss Janet Jackson says, well, what have you done for me lately? I know you used to do good stuff for me, but what have you done for me lately? And guys, here's the thing. We can't even say 36 days old. We can't. We're still a month old here. Here's what we've done. We've launched and we paid 4 commissions that we paid on time. Now, you may not have gotten your money, but we paid it on time. Not only have we paid the commissions on time, we paid out $2,207,046 is what we paid to iBuumerang distributors in over 104 different countries around the world. That these commissions have actually have gone out from our wallet and from our bank account. And I know some of you said, "Oh no, for a second, this pay app still hadn't paid up." Well, that's another one of our challenges. It's another expectation of another challenge that we've gone through. We hold that responsibility. We accept it. We chose payout. You didn't choose it. We chose payout. Why did we choose them? Because they can facilitate commissions in more countries around the world than anybody else. But what has payout done? They brought on an entirely new customer service team. Why? Because they understand iBuumerang's for real. And if we want their business, we told them, hey, listen, guys, here's what our TSAs deserve: first-rate service. See, the days right now of being able to log on and not even being able to find your TSA number, you know what? Nobody's talking about that anymore. You remember those days? It was just 30 days ago. It was just 20 days ago that you couldn't even find your TSA number. And just like that, it's gone. Nobody talks about that anymore. We told you that you're going to have those times where people say, man, do you remember my commissions were stuck in payout for 3 weeks? And maybe in the future, you're going to be saying, hey, listen, man, I can't believe this company pays me early every week. Okay. But that's our intention. That's our goal. That's what we're going to do here. We brought on 21,000 plus. It's way over that now. Travel savings ambassadors. We brought on 24,000 Boomerang customers who have activated and are now a part of the Boomerang customer database. Not what we're going to do. Here's what we have done. Boomerang customer bookings, over 955 Boomerang customers have actually placed a booking and saved money, by the way. 955. And I know some of you are probably saying, well, I've seen in my country where it's more expensive. It's no different than in the beginning, the Uber car didn't come. Does it come now? Of course it does. So I always want you to put yourself in the mind of, if you had invested in Uber, would you have asked for your money back because the car didn't come? Would you have thought Uber was a bad deal 7 years ago or 8 years ago? Because the car that you expected to come wasn't the car that came? Because the driver that you see on your phone was a female, and a male pops up because maybe it was she let her cousin drive because they didn't have all of the details and the vetting processes documented properly? No. They're going to fix it. Nobody talks about those things. You know what they talk about now? How big Uber is. How Uber is about to launch the largest IPO in the history of IPOs. That's what they're talking about. Them making history, not the challenges that they had in the beginning. Here, I want you to pay close attention to this right here on standby. Our standby distributors, they made 99 bookings so far. Our coach distributors have made 120. Now we have more standby than we have coach. We have about 3 times as many standby as we have coach. They've made 120 bookings. Our business class TSAs have made 176 bookings. Our first class have made 1,507 bookings, a total of 1,902 bookings. What does that mean? The people who invest the most take it more seriously. You want to build a real big business? The data is right here in front of you. It's right here in front of you. 2,857 bookings that have actually been made in terms of hotels and rental cars and other bookings that have actually been made that are boomerangable, if you know if that's a word, boomerangable, okay, bookings. This is in less than 30 days. Why? Our technology wasn't working when we started. This is in less than 30 days. This is what's happened. Okay. I've taken a look as well. Do you guys remember when we said that I was in Vegas and I asked how many of the TSAs, how many of you would love to participate in a compensation plan adjustment? Because this is not my company, it's your company. And I says, why don't we just take a percentage of the TSA price, raise it up by 10%. That means we're going to pay 10% more per booking of our own, but we'll take that 10%, convert it into BV, and we'll pay the entire upline every time a TSA takes a trip. Why? Because in any other company, when you buy the miracle juice, if a distributor drinks it, you make a commission. If they use the service, you make a commission. Well, here we want to say, if our TSAs use the product, you make a commission. And it's happened. If you take a look at what we've done already, we ran a report, and just with some of the TSA bookings, over $40,000 in commissions are going to be paid out. And just what we've done just in the first few weeks. Some of you, now take a look at this, guys. This is 1,902 distributors. Here's what I want you to understand. I want you to take a look at and see how unique this is, how different. We're just different. We're going to have events where we're going to have events, and I can tell you one of my goals. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I hope I haven't lost a few TSAs by saying that. You know what? T. Gray just put his temporary resignation in when I said that, right? And one of my goals is that we're going to sell out Cowboy Stadium, the AT&T Arena, or the AT&T Stadium. Over 100,000 people that's there. But here's the thing. Some of you are going to have 10,000 people. And when 10,000 people come to the event, like the event that we're about to announce in your group, we don't do room blocks because you've got a technology that works. And when you use your own technology, and it's a 3-day event, people come in a day early and they stay 4 days. And you've got 10,000 people coming. That's 40,000 room nights, 40,000 booking room nights that have actually been booked. And some of our TSAs will actually come to that event. And before the event even starts, they'll look in their back office and they'll see $120,000 in commissions just from my distributors booking the hotel room, saving money. Who's ever done that before? We're just different. Don't ask me, how do we compare to XYZ company? We're just different. Will everybody else and some other companies try to copy us? Of course. We want them to copy us. Why? Because what we're doing is good for the industry, not just good for iBuumerang. We want to set that example so that owners and companies are transparent with their distributors. Yeah, we want them to copy what we're doing. We want them to have a PRIB, a perpetual residual income builder that goes to work for you. People say, well, why do I pay $99 a month? Guys, if you understood the perpetual residual income builder, the meeting that we had today with the technology that we're investing, millions of dollars that we're investing into technology for you, it's a joke. It's a joke. In other companies, we pay hundreds of dollars per month, and you don't find one shred of evidence of an income that's going to supersede you or outlast you. So I want you to understand, don't compare the same actions to previous companies. Yeah, you have $99 a month for your technology that you have, and all of that is not for you. Let's say $50 of it is for you. $49.99 of that is for you. It's for you, your business. You know what the other $50 is for? For all of your customers, for unlimited customers not having to pay one single cent, not one single penny. Because see, if the distributors or the customers had to pay, we wouldn't have had 955 bookings from customers already who are using our technology. They wouldn't have done it. So I want you to start thinking of what it is that you have right now. Because some of you, here's what the experience is going to be. Some of you are going to experience this, and it'll be 5-10 years later of some people who just said, you know what, I couldn't have $99 a month, and I quit. And they discontinued the business, and they sold their dream for something that was different because of $99 a month. But they kept Netflix, and they kept Hulu, and they kept DirecTV, right? Or they kept Comcast. And all of those things that have not contributed anything to your legacy, they'll keep them. And here we have a $99 legacy plan that will do something for you that nobody in the history of network marketing has ever done. And it's $99. I think it's really sometimes too inexpensive, because sometimes if it's not expensive enough, we don't value it. But here's what we've done. Okay? So the proof is in the pudding of what we've done here. I want to go now, and I want to talk about our transition to our compensation plan. And so you can take a snapshot of this. This is transparency. This is the real deal right here. These are numbers, and they've already increased, but these are the numbers that we had when we put this together. And those numbers are increasing every single day, every single day. And I wish I had the photo to show you what most people are expecting. Amazon.com, if you saw the Amazon.com building now, right? Some people are joining iBuumerang and they're thinking this is where we should be. We should have, a facility in every country that's 1 million square feet, and drones that actually, pick up our passengers and take them to the airport and make their bookings for them, right? That's what everybody's expecting. We're 30 days old. And I'm not saying that, hey, yeah, we're Uber or we're Facebook or we're Google. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is we're just different. We're just different. Here's what I want you to know. If you're a TSA and if you had a pay app issue, I don't care what the issue is. Let me give you an example. If your commissions were $100 and we were supposed to deposit $100 in your account, but instead we took out $100,000, and you had late fee notice and you had, bounce of that check bounce and you lost this opportunity or whatever it was, here's what I want you to do. Here's the attitude that I want you to have. Oh, I'm so glad this happened in iBuumerang. I'm with HB. This is iBuumerang. Let me just send a text message or an email and let them know what took place, because I know they're going to take care of it. And I want to look you in your eyes, and I want each and every one of you, and I'm hoping that this camera is on me right now. I'm going to stop sharing, okay? Because I want to look you in the eye and let you know that there is no such thing as an iBuumerang emergency. None. We want you to let us know. We want you to tell us. We want to get better. And whatever it is that you need to tell us, you tell us. But there's no emergency. You're in business with me. You're in business with them. You're in business with a team of people that look at every issue that comes across and say, this is important. Why? Because it's happened to a TSA. We know that if PayApp had an issue before, here's what we're going to do. We're going to fix it. Period. And I'm not saying this because we have all of these challenges. I'm saying this because I want you to understand we're just different. Okay? I suffered through all of this stuff in networking with companies that would get an issue. And let me share with you how we process issues. We have what's called a clock. Okay? At 12 o'clock, that means the issue just happened. Our executive team knows as soon as we get the issue, I've got to know about it before 3 o'clock. After 3 o'clock, between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, you know what's happening between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock? That problem has now festered. Between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock, that problem is bad. And between 9 o'clock and midnight, it's a major disaster. And I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, our 3 o'clock policy has been working. We come out and share issues with you before you even know about them. And we're always going to be that way. We're not going to keep any secrets. We're not going to, if something is bad, I promise you, you're going to know about it. If we know a week from now that something horrible is going to happen, we're going to get on a call with our leaders and go through our text blast. You're going to have a video from me, T. Gray, or Mark Kipcart, or all three of us, and or David, or we may get on that video. We may be crying, but we're going to get on the video letting you know, hey guys, here's what's happening, and we just lost this, and we just lost that, or whatever it is, but we're going to get it back. Okay. This is what your experiences in other companies have ruined your spirit of trust. This is why this company exists. Because you've been beat up, you've been cheated on, you've been lied on, you've been abused, and I was too. And I said, here's what I want to be to distributors, what I never had as a distributor myself. And many of the leaders, Edwin Haynes will tell you, Sam Bean will tell you, many of them will tell you, hey, listen, one of my biggest issues that I had was I was always envious, in a good way, of my leaders. Why? Because they had a mentor and I didn't. They had a mentor in me. They had somebody who I knew for a fact had their backs. And up until that time, before I found my mentor and a couple of mentors in TD Jakes, I didn't have that person that I knew who would have my back. And so I said, if I ever have a chance to mentor, I'm going to give to people what I never had. And that's what we've actually done here. That's what we're doing. And so I just always want you to remember, there's no such thing as an iBuumerang emergency. Something happened to you, you can't get your money, let us know. I told a lady the other day, man, if you can't get your money out, let someone know. If you got we'll find a way to make it right for you. And we're just going to do that. Let's talk a little bit more here. And I want to go into the philosophy of our plan here as we switch gears and go into our new plan. Okay. Our new plan that we're going to go into is called, basically we're moving into the binary. Okay. What we've done in our plan before, we have our uni-level plan that we have. It's a uni-level fast start plan that we have. Guys, it's getting hot in here. If we can get some airflow, if we don't mind, because it's on 73 and I'm burning up over here because you know me, I get fired up. Okay. We had our uni-level fast track plan, and with our uni-level fast track plan, guys, some people have made a lot of money over here just with 6 levels of pay. But because of how aggressive it is, we designed that for a specific reason. So let me share with you the why. Why did we do a plan like that? Well, number one, when we were looking at launching the new plan, launching iBuumerang, we talked to our IT team and we realized how long it was going to take. We said, listen, we don't have that long of time to wait because we've got to go out and get this done. And so we said, let's do something. Let's give away. Let's put something out there that we hadn't seen before. Let's put an aggressive plan in place. This is good right here. Okay. Let's put an aggressive plan in play so that distributors can really get into some earnings and catch up with any income that they've lost by being dormant, by sitting around waiting. And we did that. We put out this fast track plan that we have that pays 6 levels. Now, we still have that plan. That plan will go up until, I think, until May 1st. So I want to, May 1st, no, I'm sorry, we'll go up until about May 15th, okay? So let me share with you how this is going to work. Remember, there's no such thing as a iBuumerang emergency. And so I don't want you sitting there, oh my goodness, there's a new comp plan they're changing. No, we're not changing. Here is the plan that we initially started to have, that we want to have. And we put out something that was simple, but we put a thought process in mind. And that thought process was, whatever we do first, it needs to easily transition into what we do next so that people don't have to do a different behavior. And so I want to talk to you about our plan. Our plan that we have is called a binary hybrid plan. Binary hybrid plan. By the way, compensation plans don't make you rich. Behaviors do. Culture does. Many companies have copied compensation plans where I've made a lot of money thinking if I make something that looks like what Holton used, I'll get the same results. And it's just like there's several companies who've made cars that look like Lamborghinis. They're called Fieros, if you remember in the back in the days, okay? And they just don't quite get it, okay? Because the philosophy is not there. The Rolls Royce, the Chrysler 300 was promoted to look like the Rolls Royce. But there was a lot of unique differences that are there. And so I want you to understand the philosophy behind our plan was designed so that the average person, number one, and what do I mean by the average? I just showed you the numbers so that the average person could actually get into our business and defy the odds. My whole thing was trying to solve a problem for so long. I was trying to solve a problem that really wasn't the problem. So what I wanted to do was let me create a new problem to solve. Because for so long, everybody in network marketing has been trying to solve this problem called attrition. How do I solve it? How do I make my product better? And here's what we've done. We put together all of these incredible trainings, like the 15,000 steps to follow up and follow through. And guess what you're not going to do properly? You're not going to follow up and you're not going to follow through. So why should I keep training the exact same thing? And another hypocritical thought that we say on stage is, you know, in network marketing, the presenter always says, you know, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And we normally talk about people going to a job. Well, most network marketers are insane because we keep training the same thing and expecting a different result, and it never happens. If I didn't have 29 years of history, I wouldn't understand this. If I didn't have an organization of almost 3 million distributors and be able to look at what the results are and what the habits are, no matter how much I train, I wouldn't think about this. I'd do the exact same thing that I heard a top earner say. Why? Because all I'm chasing is his or her results, but we never tell you the truth about our results. Never tell you that. We never tell you that I made more money when I had 500,000 distributors in my group than when I had over 2 million. Yes. Why? That thing called attrition. That's not the company. That's the industry. You take every top networker right now who's been in your former upline and you ask them, what was the glory days of earnings? It is not right now. It is yesterday. It was when I had less people in my organization. But they never say that. Here, we're going to change that. Okay? We're going to change that. And so we set this up so that it will be different, so that it will be unique, so that we don't have those issues, because I already know you're not going to follow up. So guess what we're going to tell you with our prayer? Please leave the customer alone. Do not talk to them. Don't follow up. Why? We know what you're good at. You're good at not following up. So be good at doing it, instead of being bad at doing something that you don't want to do. It's the opposite. So I told you, we're just different. We're just different. Okay? We don't need you to go out and sell. Call your customer up and say, hey, I've got a new product that the company's releasing. Would you like to buy this and add this to your order too? And we know you're shaking in your boots. Why? Because you're afraid that they're going to say, no, take me off the one that I'm on now. You just reminded me that I'm still paying for that juice. Because you don't want to call them. We don't want you to call them. Don't ever call them. As a matter of fact, we're not even going to allow you to sell the additional services that our PRIB is bringing. You don't have the ability. It won't be in your back office. It's the PRIB job to do it. Your job is to do one thing that you're real good at, and that is go get them. You can do that real good. That's what network marketers do. We go get them, and we're on to the next one. Go get them, and we're on to the next one. And that's what we want you to do with these customers. Go get them, and be on to the next one. Leave them alone. Don't talk to them. Don't ever call them back. Don't ask them did they book their travel yet. Mark Kithcart's putting that together. T. Gray's working on some systems and stuff like that. That's going to facilitate all of that. David and Lori, they're putting all of the things together to give them some travel. We're going to do all of the follow-up. Don't you ever talk to those people again, unless they're family, of course. But don't talk to them about the business, okay? Why? We said, let's do the opposite of what this industry is doing, because it doesn't work. Why take and open a company and do the exact same thing that didn't work the first time, okay? Kind of like a resume. People say, what's a resume? A bunch of lives that didn't work for you the last time. That's why you've got to put another one together, okay? And so we want to do something different. And so our compensation plan, if you notice in our presentation, we only talk about the customer acquisition model. We're never, this is probably one of the only times you're going to hear about binary and uni-level is in trainings. We're not going to talk about this in our presentation. Our income is going to come from the PRIB, from consumers, true consumers. 955 of them have already made a booking. I can't wait until the booking cycle starts. When you're in iBuumerang for 1 year and you've got a huge customer base of Boomerang customers, and that cycle of bookings starts, and every month or every day there's new bookings, our product is designed and our example is designed that the customer uses it one time a year, only once a year. We say one time a year. Many of them are going to use it 4 and 5 times. I'm looking at the list there, and I'm watching people who've made 5, 6 bookings in 1 month, the first month. Okay? And so, ladies, what we're saying is you haven't gotten to the money yet. The biggest money is going to come from customers, not from a uni level, from distributors enrolling. Why? Trees never grow into the sky. Will recruiting slow down? Yes, it will. I'm going to be transparent with you. 10 years from now, this business will not exist in the same capacity for you or for somebody who's getting started 10 years from now as somebody who's starting now. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Most companies, you know what they say? 50 years later, it's much better to get started today than it was. No, it's not. It won't be here. Why? Because we don't have the recycling bin. Name one of your Boomerang customers that's going to quit and say, you know what, I quit and I'll join again. No, they don't. Uber customers don't quit. Boomerang customers will not resign. There's no cost for them to come aboard, and there's no cost at all for them to keep the technology. You walk into a room, I walk into rooms every day now, and as I'm presenting and talking to a group, and I says, raise your hands if you do not have Uber. And I was in a room with 300 people, and 6 people raised their hand. And I want you to imagine that you started with Uber network marketing 6 years ago. And starting today, and now you're looking for customers. You walk into a room with 300 people, and there's only 6 opportunities for you to get customers. It is not as good today as it would have been 6 years ago. So what? You're here right now. I didn't say that iBuumerang is going to be the only opportunity. I said iBuumerang is just different. Just different. Okay? And I can't focus on the distributor that's born 20 years from now. I can't focus on the person who's ready 10 years from now. Will the opportunity be available? Yes. Will it be big? Will we grow and our numbers grow? Of course. I'm just saying, he or she who builds the largest customer base of Boomerang customers, the one who wins. Why? You have those customers for life. You're not worried about them calling you up saying, take me off of auto ship. There's no auto ship. There's nothing for them to buy. But there's plenty. I'll say this differently. There's nothing for you to sell, but there will be plenty for them to buy. Plenty. I tell you about some of the things that we're lining up, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you a concept here. I want you to imagine us having our 5 million customers that we have in Boomerang, and 5 million customers. You know what they do? They have cars and they drive. And what do cars need? They need gas. Conversation, that we just had of, hey, listen, why don't we do this? Let's determine who gets our business. Well, who determines who gets iBuumerang customers and distributors business? Whoever gives us cash back for fueling up. Why? Because we've got 5 million people that purchase gas. And if you're going to get cash back because you use your special iBuumerang code, are you going to use the code that does it? No. Are you going to go to the one that, no. That may be $1 billion vertical alone just in our ecosystem. $1 billion of our business is just the fuel savings and the fuel commissions that we'll pay back to you. Why? It's our vision. Don't focus on, oh, well, pay it. Don't focus on, well, this website over here had, was $2 cheaper than iBuumerang. The program doesn't work. I've written in Ubers where a taxi cab would have been cheaper. I didn't delete my app. You know what I did today for the first time? We had our executive team here today, and I used Uber Eats, and I spent $169 on Uber Eats, and they gave me so many points. But more importantly, you know what happened? We got some great ideas of what we're going to do and what we're going to bring to you. Why? Because that app is right there in front of me. And I'm using it all the time. Let me get off my soapbox and let me get over here to because I only got a few more minutes left with it before Kim Bean actually comes on and rocks the house with our 8 o'clock call here. Transitioning to the binary, the ways you built. So let's talk about the binary. The purpose of a binary is for speed. Okay. If you guys are with me on Facebook, I want to hear some people say boom. Okay. If you're here with me on Zoom, I want you to hear say boom. All right. Let me know what's going on over there on Facebook. Okay? I want to hear from you. They're booming it up. Okay. I want some feedback. I want to know is this the company that you want, or do you want the one that says, oh, well, we're just like iBuumerang but better, or iBuumerang can't do what they're doing, or we're going to pay you a little bit more money. Okay. Guys, we're different. Stop chasing a mathematical figure in a compensation plan when the people don't even have the system or the experience to make sure that you get it. Any compensation plan, you can make, their compensation plans are unlimited, but you're not making unlimited money because the environment is not conducive for what they're selling. We're making this environment strong for you. It's customer driven. The customers will actually go out there and create this income for you. And here's what we know. What I do know is that even if you quit, your customer doesn't quit. That means that you can have a legacy-based income. A legacy-based income from customers. That's what we're creating here, okay? And I want you to understand that. Now, as we move into the binary, how does the binary work? It's going to be a two-team system. You'll have a team on your left and a team on your right. This is what we call the placement or the enrollment. So any of the new packs, that means that coach packs, business class, and first class packs, those are the only things that go into the binary. It's a one-time income, okay? It's just like the plan that we have now, the fast track or the fast start uni level. You get paid out of it one time. That's what it is. It's a one-time income, fast start, okay? So we will have a fast start and we will have a binary. And so any person that you enroll into your binary, you will get a fast start bonus. And then what happens is you now will have a choice to place them on your right or your left team. You say, well, what's going to happen to all the people that I have now? They're sitting in what we call the holding tank, okay? They're sitting in the holding tank. That's where they are, in the holding tank. The holding tank basically is exactly what it is. That means that you're going to have up to 2 weeks. Is that correct, Tigray? Up to 2 weeks in order to place the people on your left and your right. Now, you're probably thinking, man, I've got a team now of 1,000 people. I've got to place everyone. No, you don't. You will only place the people that you personally enrolled. That's the only people that you'll place. If you have personally enrolled them, then you'll place them. So that means that person number one may have 75 people. So when you place person number one on the right, 75 people go over there, and then he or she is going to be responsible for doing their own left and right. Person number two, you put on the left, they may have 40 people, and they're going to be responsible. All 40 is attached to them. So I don't want you to get confused on that. Don't even focus on that. I'm just sharing with you where we're going so that it's not news to you. We want to give you, I don't even want to call it pre-warning. We just want to share with you your business. It's your business. It's not ours. It's yours. Okay. So you should know where your company is moving to. And so if you've got 8 personals, you'll put 4 on your left, 4 on your right. You can do 6 on your right, 6 on your left. It's up to you. Now, here's what I want to share with you. I want to share with you how to optimize the compensation plan. You're going to hear some things, and I know that some of the leaders are probably going to be mad at me, but I'm not a politician. And so I'm just going to tell you the truth, because the majority of the people on this call are not major networkers, okay? I'm going to show you what's duplicatable. It is not duplicatable to be given a leg of business. I can't teach someone how to inherit a power leg. So I never teach and I never promote that I'm going to build a power leg and you don't have to do anything on one side. You breed weakness that way. I've been in this industry for 29 years. I've never had one person placed in my group in 29 years. As a matter of fact, my last binary, when I joined it, I told them, hey, listen, go build your other side. Why? Because it's up to me. I'm not counting what some upline is going to do. What if my dream is 3 times the size of my upline? Now what you've done is you've limited your kid's income to the size of your upline's dream, not the size of your dream. It's my business, and I'm gonna take responsibility. And anything additional that comes down below me, it's gravy. I'm appreciative of it. But I've never, ever, and I will never, ever go and say, hey, Peter, when are you going to place some people below me? Okay? If you want people below you that you didn't put there, walk around in a graveyard. Some of you will get that a little bit later. Okay? Let me get off of my leadership. You guys know I can get there. But anyway, okay? So tonight's Zoom is Trey Harris and not Kim Bean. I'm sorry, I thought it was Kim Bean, but we've got dynamic Trey Harris. This guy's phenomenal. We'll talk about that later. But guys, I just want to share with you, I want you to think like a leader. I don't want you to think like a weak leader. I want you to think like a leader. And I'm not calling leaders weak if you wanted a power leg or whatever it is. I'm just teaching the newbies how I did it. Now, I know how I did it, and I know what my results are. And I know what I do work. And so that's how I designed the plan. I designed the plan based off of you building a business, you building it. And so when your income is up here and somebody down in your group says, hey, could you tell me, how did you make $20,000 this week? See, what the leaders don't do is say, well, you know, I made a deal that the upline put all of these people below me, and that's how I make the money. Sorry, I couldn't do it for you. It's not duplicatable. So I'm going to show you what's duplicatable. If you do anything else outside that, you can do that. Now, I know I've probably lost a few people. They probably said, you know what, I'm checking out. This HP is kind of off the charts. But I just tell you the truth, guys. I'm just going to tell you like it is. This is just the real deal. Okay, I'm going to tell you like it is. Okay. Now, we've talked about monthly subscriptions as well. And Mark, I think I'm going to the right slide here. Let me make sure here. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, we got to go through the 2020 plan. Okay. All right. I'll share with you last how you structure your business. Let's talk about monthly subscriptions here. Okay. Now, I want to share with you what we've done and one adjustment of expectations that are out there. Okay. One adjustment of expectations that are out there. And we're going to show you how we navigate through it. We want your feedback on it as well. Okay. Monthly subscriptions, as I mentioned, we've got select countries where the coach package is $49. And it's not because the technology is cheaper. It actually still costs us the same. It's just that we're sensitive to some of what the income and the economics are. And what we had T-Grade do is take a look at the GDP of all of these different nations. And if the GDP wasn't above a certain number, we said, let's make it $49 per coach to give everybody an opportunity. Okay. At the moment right now, our standby packages, people get in at $49. Through pre-launch, here's what we did. We actually gave everyone a TSA site who was a $49 package who got in at standby. Okay. You see the number of standbys that are actually booking. Now, standbys have the ability to start earning 25% of referral commissions. Okay. 25% of referral commissions. But with the standby, you're not able to start earning the binary commissions, and you don't earn 100% of the boomerang commissions. Okay. So what we are going to do, ladies and gentlemen, all right, and we're going to give you some grace period on how to do this, because standby you're really a boomerang customer with privileges of being able to earn 25%. And so much of the feedback that we've gotten, and we've looked at it, is we either downgrade our standby and say, you know what, we're going to make them boomerangs. They're going to be customers. But we want to give you a position in the genealogy. And so we're going to add a couple more benefits, but your standby is going to move to $49 monthly subscription, because there are earning benefits that you do have. And some will say, well, hey, listen, why pay coach when I only make 50% of the commissions and I pay 49 or 99 if I'm in America, but if I get standby and I don't have a group, I don't pay anything. And so it incentivizes the wrong behavior, okay? So we're letting you know now that we're moving towards that. So we want you to know that we're moving towards that particular concept, okay? Want to let you know that. It may not necessarily be in the month. It's not going to be in the month of April, but it possibly could be in the month of May, okay? It could be in the month of May that we do that. But we're going to give you fair warning, and we will communicate with you as well, okay? We'll communicate with you as well, because we want to solve this. We're going to be meeting with some of our diamonds as well, and we'll talk about that, okay? But I've already explained to you what the subscriptions are for, okay? Now, I want to talk to you about something that's really special to me. Another announcement that I want to make here, okay? Something that we've already done. You saw it at our announcement that what we did is we actually announced the Boomerang, or what we call the Boom Foundation. We launched it the same day that we launched the company. Why? Because it's critically important to us in terms of being able to support and be known for not how much money we make, but being known for the significance that we actually make in the lives of people who are less fortunate. Our goal is not necessarily putting a dent in starvation or putting a dent in malnutrition. Every company can put a dent in it. One payment can put a small dent in it. Our commitment is to eradicating it. We looked at what the numbers are, and we looked at what does it really take if somebody cares about the nourishment of children around the world. Why can't somebody solve the issue? Let's be the solution, not only a part of the solution. And so what we've done already is that even before revenue came in, we actually, our chief giving officer, Mr. Peter Hirsch, this is his life's mission. He's brought some things to the table that we've talked to you about already with the iBuumerang and how we're going to support the foundation. We were sitting, Peter and I, and we were just talking about ideas of how we really want to eradicate this. Here's what's going to take place. With every activation, every single activation of a boomerang, iBuumerang is going to make sure that we donate 1 serving of nourishment to an undernourished child. And so so this means we want you to go out there and get the boomerangs booming. For those of you who are sitting and you still got 50 boomerangs because you came in first class, here's what we want you knowing, that if you don't go out there and get those boomerangs out, some kids may not get the nutrition that they could get. We don't want to put the guilt factor on you. We want you to help us solve this issue here, this issue of malnourishment. And so we wanted to announce that that's what's going to happen. And so if 100,000 boomerangs get activated today, guess what's going to happen? 100,000 servings of nutrition, of nourishment is actually going to get sent to the foundation, helping eradicate this big issue. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do it. We've got a goal, and we know for a fact that we're going to surpass. You'll see an article that's going to come out tomorrow that over the next several months, we're expecting by the end of the year, over 5 million customers that we're actually going to have. So Mark, make sure you plug this one up so that this one doesn't die. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one here. I want to talk to you a little bit about the structure of the binary and how do you actually build this binary compensation plan in terms of the structure. I don't want you to focus on binary. The comp plan is not a binary. The binary is designed for speed. The back end is designed for stability, okay? It's designed for stability. So what we've got what we call the Lamborghini and the Rolls Royce. If you drove a Lamborghini from New York to LA, it's the worst ride you'd ever have, and you'd be really sore. Why? You'll get there fast, but you won't like it. So you want to get out of the gates. If you're in a race, you start with the Lamborghini and you want to end with the Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce is smooth. It's stable, which means we're going to stabilize your income. Your income won't be this herky-jerky income. We'll stabilize it through the PRIB. The PRIB is what stabilizes your income, okay? So now, how do we do this? I'm going to share with you a concept that I want you to mimic, a concept that will set your business up for long-term success. It will set you up for a foundation of diamond. It will create massive duplication, okay? It's been proven. I've used this system over and over and over and over again. This is how I build, and you don't have to be a master builder to do this. But what I want you to do is I want you to put the numbers and the law of averages to work for you. We call it the 2020 plan, and going into next year, we're going to launch something called 2020 vision, okay? The 2020 plan, and we're going to be launching 2020 vision. Why? We've got about 7 months or 8 months before we're into the year 2020. And so we're going to have our 2020 event that we're going to have, 2020 vision event, okay? So now here's what the concept is. For people who are wanting to become diamond, and we're going to tell you what diamond is. Diamond is 200,000 in volume or 1,000 active TSAs with the 40% rule. This is not a compensation plan training here. So I'm not going to break down the comp plan. I'm just going to show you structure that makes your uni level build the way that you want it to build, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to trust me that I know how this works. And whatever you've done in the past, you can't bring old habits of building into a plan like this because it may not work for you. Some of you have been in plans where they say, oh, you only build 3 legs and you give everybody else away. You're not going to maximize this plan that way, and it doesn't provide for duplication. This plan is designed for you to build wide and keep your personal sponsors. Stop giving people away thinking that you're helping them. Whenever you give people away who can't do it themselves, you've just reduced duplication in your group by 50%. The only time I have given a personal away is when the person I'm giving it to doesn't need it. It means that I don't have the time for this person, and I may say, hey, here you go, Tracy, take this person right here because you can work with them better than I can. I've got too many legs over here. But I don't say, Tracy, you haven't sponsored anybody yet. Here's one I'm going to give you. That's weakness. You'll never watch a top earner go across the stage who says, my income has been solid and stable for 10 years, but I teach the people to give other people away. Doesn't work that way. I'm going to show you the real deal of how to build. And here with what we've done, you'll have to do it one time. You'll have to build it once, build that consumer base one time. Okay. Now, 2020 plan simply means this. In the first 60 days, here's the concept that I want you to do. I want you to shoot for Sapphire, okay? We're going to break down all the ranks a little bit later, but Sapphire is $15,000 in volume. The structure in which you want to do it is putting 6 on your left and 6 on your right. I'm teaching you how to build with the concept that nobody's going to place anybody below me. That's the concept that I want to teach you how to build with. Will you get spillover? I don't know. I'm not going to promise it to you. I don't know if your upline is going to promise it to you. I'm going to teach you how to build and create spillover. That's where I made my money, is creating spillover for people, not expecting it. Okay. So sponsor 12 in 60 days. You may say, wow, that's a lot. So what if you didn't do it? Utilize the I decide the proper way. Make sure that you're calling the people, letting them know before it comes. Don't take the chicken way out and just send it to your database, hoping that you're going to hit the lottery and someone signs up. You don't want to build a business that way. It takes courage to make the money that you want. It takes courage to leave a legacy. Utilize that courage, talk to the people. We're going to be indoctrinating you into an entire system of recruiting, retention, and replication. It's called the 3 R's of iBuumerang. Recruit, retain, replicate. Won't talk about that tonight, but we're going to be rolling that system out. Just always remember the 3 R's, okay? So 6 on your left, 6 on your right in this example, okay? This is the best way to do it. Some may say, well, if I've got a power leg, should I put 9 on my right, 3 on my left? It's up to you if you want to do that, okay? But I'm just teaching how to build as if you're the first person in the company without an upline, okay? I'm sure Edwin Haynes is wondering, HB, who's going to put people below me? Nobody, okay? You got to put people below others, Ed. Sorry, all right? No, he's never wondered that. That's why he's been out there building and put 80+ personals in, because he knows he's got to do it, okay? So 6 on your left, 6 on your right. Once you do this, this gives you a foundation that you're going to have 3 to 4 legs that are willing and ready to build. 3 to 4. I'm going to show you, and I did this in Baltimore, I'm going to teach you how to work through the calendar, not tonight, but I'm going to show you that, okay? And that's going to take you on to Sapphire. Sapphires should have an expectation somewhere between $2,000 to $5,000 a month. It could be less, it could be more. I don't want to be on here guaranteeing you an income. Some Sapphires are going to be making way more, okay? Just because of the travel savings, commissions, and bonuses. This is just off of normal business building, okay? Now, within the next 60 days after that, you're going to build in stages. You take a 60-day run and you build. And now what we're going to do, you're on recruit. Now you're going to be retaining the first 60 days, but you start that whole process over, put another 6 in on your left and another 6 in on your right. Now you've got 24 personally enrolled people in 120 days. Some of you say, I haven't done that yet. Well, iBuumerang is not even 120 days old yet, okay? So that's what you have. This will set you up for Ruby and take you on into Emerald. Rubies earn normally between somewhere between $4,000 to $8,000 per month, and Emerald is going to be somewhere between $8,000 to $15,000 per month. And here's the thing, it's really higher. This is not including the revenue from travel savings bonuses in commissions and stuff like that. This is just a typical build, okay? Now, what you do your next 60 days is you're going to put 8 in on your left and 8 in on your right. 8 more on your left, 8 more on your right. That gives you a total of 40 personal enrolled in 180 days. 20 on your left, 20 on your right. And here's what you get when you put 20 on your left, 20 on your right. You're going to get 6 to 8 of those who are going to quit on each side. You're going to get 6 to 8 who's going to incubate. Okay? Which means that they're going to come to meetings, they're going to buy the iBuumerang gear, they're going to wear their hats, they're going to be excited and proud, but they're not going to really build a business. And it's okay. You love on those people. Those are the ones you love on them. When you see them, you don't say, well, where have you been? You hadn't sponsored anybody. You say, hey, listen, man, love to see you. Great to see you again, you know, and you make them feel good about being around you, but don't put pressure on them. And then you're going to have 6 to 8. Okay? You're going to have 6 to 8 of them who's going to quit. And 6 to 8 who's going to build it big even if you quit. Okay? 6 to 8 who's going to build it big even if you quit. All right? And so that's what I want you to understand. It's going to create a great foundation for Diamond. It's going to give you 12 to 16 legs of business. I know this is foreign for some of you. And with those 12 to 16 working legs of business, I'm going to show you that this is really a foundation for Black Diamond, but this is the foundation to go Diamond 60 days after you get this done. I've taught this. I've mastered this. It's irrefutable. You can't say it doesn't work. It does work. But I want to show you how to do it. We've got a leadership training that I'm going to be announcing that's going to come up. Okay, soon. We won't announce it today, that we're going to put it in place and show you how to do it, but you're going to have to be a sapphire to even attend that leadership training so that we can show you how to get to those next levels, okay? Now, one of the things I wanted to announce really quick is I wanted to announce the location, obviously, of our event that we've given away right here because our technology was broken. I want somebody to guess where it's going to be, okay? Somebody guess where it's going to be. Las Vegas, Nevada is where the major launch is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. August 30th through September the 1st, that's where it's going to be. Now, here's the thing we want you to know. The board is lighting up. Everybody, if you're excited about the event being in Vegas, let us know that you're excited about the event being in Vegas. Here's one of the things I'm excited about. We don't have a room block. That means get with your upline Diamond, okay? Find out where they're going to be rooming because they may want you in the same hotel where they are and using your iGo platform. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to sell out. It's going to sell out. We're already probably 30% of it's already sold out based off of 30% of the tickets. I mean, the tickets that have already been sold, and they didn't even know where it's going to be. So here's what happens. The full price of this event is $250. Tonight and tonight only is the remaining $149 pricing. After tonight, the price will increase tonight, midnight Central Standard Time tonight. Don't call tomorrow asking, hey, listen, my credit card wasn't working or whatever it was. It goes up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing I want you to know of. We're going to be making some announcements on Friday. There will be the first large international women's event. Erlene will be putting that on Friday night. That will be a separate on how you get tickets for that. Make sure you're coming in on Friday. We're also going to have opportunities for you to participate with so many different things, awards, prizes that we're going to give away. Vegas is a place where you can do a whole lot of stuff, and many of you are going to do it on the house on iBuumerang. Saturday and Sunday will be the general session events, and we're going to light it up like a Christmas tree. And the actual event will be in the arena of the Orleans Arena. That's not our host hotel, but that is where the event will actually take place in that particular arena. There's only a couple places that can hold us, and they can actually hold us there in that arena But ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be lights out. I recommend go get your tickets tonight. Buy 4 or 5 tickets if you want to for people that you know who are going to be joining your business, and then transfer it over to them if you want to. I'm just giving a suggestion. Price will increase tonight at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. And, at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. So ladies and gentlemen, we're so excited about everything that we've got going on. Other announcements that's going to be coming soon. We're going to be giving you a detailed compensation plan training, but I want to share with you how to swing right into the binary. You're going to be placing people on your left and your right, but your uni level takes care of itself, okay? Don't worry. Remember, there's no such thing as an iBuumerang emergency. And everybody, here's what I want you to do. Pay attention real quick. What is unique? And I want to see if you got the right answer. Have you been listening tonight? When people wonder about all of these other companies, what is unique about iBuumerang? Put it in the chat right now. What's unique? It's 2 words. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just different. I love each and every one of you. I can't wait to see you in Vegas, and I can't wait to see you on the beaches of the world, literally. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody go out there, support Trey Harris, one of our diamonds on the call, and we can't wait to see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.